Welcome back to the baddest YouTube channel in the land. This is Rod OG, and I'm back with another banger. How we doing today, OG community? As you can see, I'm representing. I stay representing for us all day, every day. So represent for me and make sure that we making sure everybody that visits the OG community is subscribing to the channel. Don't just stop by, subscribe and hit that bell notification so we can keep bringing those bangers. Now, OG community, as always, let's get into it. Let's go.
You're being farmed.
What is that?
It has many names. Regenix, Resal, Nectar.
Khalid came out of a bath.
Naturally, my aesthetics explain what it is or where it comes from.
That stuff made her young again.
It comes from people. Each unit is refined from approximately 100 human beings.
What?
Your planet is a farm.
You said you killed 100 people to make this.
Yes, someone did.
In your world, people are used to fighting for resources. Like oil or minerals or land. When you have access to the vastness of space, you realize there's only one resource worth fighting over. Even killing for. More time. Feel my skin. Oh my god.
Terus saya lagi senang seperti ini, dia akan muncul di bawahnya jadi happy. Dan ketika saya marah, dia akan muncul di bawahnya angry. Dan juga ketika saya sedih seperti ini, dia akan menunjukkan bahwa hanya saya sedang sedih, sad.
Nature, divine. Human nature, toxic.
They do like blowing stuff up.
Yeah. And the worst part? They do it in my name. And then they come crying to me, asking me to forgive, to fix things. Never taking any responsibility.
What about your responsibility?
I took responsibility by leaving. At a certain point, training wheels gotta come off. No one likes a helicopter parent.
First, it was the white buffalo. Now it is the white raven, y'all. Check this out. This is big news, y'all. Big changes are soon to come to Earth, as you are seeing right now with all the weather anomalies. But here's the white raven. It was caught in Anchorage, Alaska, y'all. Here it is over here, just chilling on a tree, you know, speaking its truth, y'all. So, do you know what this means? But for some of you that didn't know, the raven was originally white, but was turned black from the smoke when it brought fire to man. This is speaking metaphorically because ravens or birds in general are messengers of the spirit realm. This is why we indigenous people always kept feathers around us, because birds are directly tied to the magnetic field of the earth, right? And they would always let us know when big changes are coming. It is said that the white raven will return when humans become spiritual again. Again, birds are messengers of the spirit world. We will see a white raven, and that's when we know that humanity as a whole is shifting towards one piece. But not only did we see a white raven yet, y'all, 2 days ago, a white moose was spotted in Canada. Check this out. Here it is, y'all. The rare white moose spotted in Canada. Okay? Look at this, y'all. Big changes are coming to Earth, and I'm gonna tell you why. It says right here in the Anishinaabe 7 fire prophecies, when animals have a white one born unto them, this signifies that great big changes and big shifts are to come onto the planet. White buffalo, check. White raven, check. White rare moose, check. So what other white animals are we waiting on, y'all? And then all the changes, all the catastrophes that's happening around the planet right now, y'all. It speaks for itself. We are in prophecy, and we are becoming more spiritual. That's why the planet is changing.
He is absolutely right. There is a spiritual awakening that's happening. Everybody need to awaken and realize what's going on. Pay attention to what's going on around you. A spiritual war is coming. It's time for you to choose what side you want to be on.
We don't want to live in a world anymore where we are literally living to die, working to die, literally. This is the end of the era, and I'm stamping it, y'all.
What I'm saying too high, I guess we flying with Goku. Drizzy say he gon' cut me that check for body and meat too. If I'm creating these bodies, he body what I'ma speak to. I've been quiet for too long, and I've been crying for too long. I've been dying for too long. I'm getting tired, I've been driving for too long. Not a peasant, Rocky 7, see the fire is still on. I can't keep doing this drizzy without some recognition. Recognition, I started it, it's the best ignition. I am the muscle you working with, it's the repetition. I'm armed for you, so try accepting this definition. Try accepting this definition, it's definite. I'm still at it, I feel like definite. Get the ref in it, I'm doing niggas foul. This OVO shit got me hurt, a nigga ow. I guess that's what the logo said. I'm part of the team, but I guess that's for the promo. Told me I would break through, guess that's for the dojo. No longer asking for my check from y'all niggas. Gotta kill to get respect from y'all niggas, so be it.
But you know what? I don't care. I don't care how you feel about whether or not human beings should be bought or sold. I care about whether or not that's moral or immoral. I care about whether or not that's right or wrong. And if I were the last human being on earth to say it's wrong, I would stand with pride against everyone. But what makes me proud is the fact that I'm not standing alone. I might be in the minority in this chamber, but I'm on the right side of history. I'm in the majority of folks outside these walls who believe that we should not buy and sell human life. This is really simple. Right now, in a few minutes, in a few moments, that board is going to light up. And the green dots next to the names for history, for perpetuity, until the end of time are going to be recorded as those who thought it was okay to buy and sell people in 2024. Not in 1964, not in 1932, not in 1864, but today, the people who are for the buying and selling of people are going to have green dots next to their names up there in a few minutes. Yeah, I love the laughs, the smiles.
If we had more passionate people like him in Congress representing us, a lot more things would get done. That is a passionate man right there. He is somebody that can speak for the masses. Did you hear the passion in his voice when he spoke on that? I totally agree with him. Buying and selling humans? Come on. This is 2026. Things like this cannot continue. And us as a people cannot stand by while these things are happening with our hands folded and act like we don't know what's going on. We got to speak up too.
The casual disregard for the importance of what it is you're about to do. History is going to record it, and you're going to answer for it in eternity.
The clerk will take the roll on the bill. There being 68 ayes and 61 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to.
1859. This is the bill of sale for your third great-grandmother.
A receipt for a human being. Received the Benjamin Franklin Little, $830, being in full for the purchase of a Negro slave named Pocahontas. They paid $830 for my great-great-great-grandma? I got more than that in my pocket right now.
Now, Nuss, when Pocahontas was purchased by Benjamin Franklin Little, she was about 14 or 15 years old.
Wow, 15 years old.
Mm.
Wow. See, this is painful now. This is like To see that is like, that hurts. Yeah.
Let's see what else we can find. Now that...
Uh-oh, we starting to put faces to names?
That is the Carlisle Plantation in Richmond, and that is Benjamin Franklin Little. Take a look at that guy. That is the white man who owned your ancestors.
This is the face my ancestors looked at every day.
Every day.
The eyes they looked at.
The man they feared, the man they had to please. For 6 of your third great-grandparents in Oz.
Now I'm looking into their world. Now I can see where they walked, what they saw.
Unfortunately, the house burned down in 1963, and today it's nothing but a forest. But Naz, we ask, you were going to say something, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just thinking about buying that land.
Oh, good. I was hoping you'd say it.
All right, my TikTok family, it's YPA, the way. I'm coming back again with some more footage and information about Antarctica, Mount Erebus in particular. This is actually the most active volcano in the southern hemisphere, and it's in Antarctica. What's special about this volcano is that those gases that you can see right at the top here, every day out of those gases comes about 80 grams of crystal monoatomic gold. Very fine nanoparticles of gold come out of this volcano on a daily basis. That's about $6,000 worth of gold a day. It'll be a little bit more than 2 million a year. But the thing about those crystals, they're so microscopic that it would be virtually impossible to try to collect these crystals because they are scattered out as far as 621 miles from the volcano. Now I can believe that because if you remember my last video, the wind in Antarctica averages from 65 miles an hour up to 90 miles an hour on any given day. It just depends on where you are, and the higher you are, the stronger the wind. So 20 meters to 50 meters off the ground, you'll get an average wind gust of about 50 to 65, at most maybe 70. That's working wind. That's what those people out there work in every day. The higher you go up, that's when you get those punishing Arctic winds because they follow the currents. Those are about 80 and 90 mile an hour winds that are high up here by this volcano. Now they're so high that it looks like, this comes out kind of slow and it's pilfering. Yeah. Well, the thing about those particles that comes out of this volcano, and I got a real stunner for you at the end of this one. So pay attention and watch it to the end because it's a lot of information. Okay. This volcano right here, actually in 1979, November 28th, New Zealand, Flight 901 crashed into the side of this volcano, killing everybody on board. 257 passengers that got killed on board. That is actually what this volcano is most known for. It's been active since 1972. Well, NC State did a survey and a study on the particles that were coming out of this volcano. And they found that the electrically charged gold particles, those nanoparticles, those monoatomic gold particles, what they do is they unravel the DNA helix in your body. So if you remember the biblical term, God said that we would live 120 years. That would be our lifespan. Now, remember, they lived almost 1,000 years old back in those days. But this our timing, 120 years is basically the lifespan of a human being. So what this gold does that comes out of this volcano is it's actually a healing gold. It spreads out really wide away from it, almost 650 miles away from it. Through the air. So it's kind of like Earth giving off a regeneration itself, because anybody who comes in contact or is close to this, their health improves tremendously. Those people that work in Antarctica are some of the healthiest people in the world, believe it or not. They breathe the cleanest air, they have the purest water, and the environment is just almost minus any pollutants, of course, because there's nothing up there to pollute it. So giving out this healing gold, it's like a mist that comes out of this stuff of healing gold. And forgive my shaking, you know, I told you I'm gonna try to get a little bit better at my camera. I'm gonna get a tripod, perhaps. Just depends on if I get enough followers and people to actually watch the videos. But we're gonna go through some pictures of Mount Erebus, because this is very, very informational. I just found out that it gives off this gold that if you even walk, 50 meters close to the volcano, they say your body instantly starts to feel better. So it works kind of supernaturally, if you want to say that. But here's some pictures from.
Sound to me like it's almost out in the youth type of thing. All I would say is naturally, if it's something natural, why haven't more people tried to go and research it? You know what kind of benefits that would benefit mankind tremendously. But of course, why would big medicine want us to know about things like this when they can make so much money off the medicine they supply us with, and half of it give you other side effects? It's crazy out here.
National Geographic and some of their researchers that went up there. This is actually the volcano erupting. That's the volcano from the plane. As you can see, barely to little smoke. I think that was partially the winter. This right here is a cave that they're exploring. The inside of that cave, so much to be found in Antarctica. So many secrets. Nobody's been there to do anything. So pretty much whatever you find is going to always be new. This is a picture of the top of the mountain with a little smoke coming out. I guess it's the summer, spring months, which is like March and April. They get a relief from the snow. Another view from the air. This is called the Mount Erebus crater. This is the crater that's next to the volcano. And I'm not sure how it was formed, but it's one of the largest craters in the world. I guess they go to the mountain by snowmobile. This is inside one of those ice caves. As you can see, it's kind of brilliant that this guy's, see if I can get a little zoom. No. Okay. This guy is obviously looking at some things that have never really been seen or explored before. That blue ice has got to be tremendous. I don't know where the light source he's got's coming from, but as you can see, it's like more than his light in there. So something's good about that, I guess. Let's go to the next ones. More pictures of that. More pictures of outside the cave. That's beautiful. This is the buildup of moisture from on top of the mountain of ice when it snows or they get a storm. That's what it looks like over the top of the volcano. As I said, that gas and the smoke that's coming out, it emits those gold particles. And as you can see, they get carried in the air and just taken everywhere, it looks like. This is another cave look. Another cave look. This stuff is beautiful. Our creator is really awesome. Inside the cave. This is another inside a different cave, but look at how that looks in there. That stuff looks great. I mean, you can't make that with man's hands at all. And then guys, I came to the end of this, right? And I've been scrolling. There's 20 pictures on this thing. And I came to the end of it and I was like, what the hell? I'm always finding some extra stuff. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? This really kind of solidifies how I feel about extraterrestrial activity, especially Antarctica, and especially with portals out there, and especially that black sun that we never see, but they always see. Man, check this out. What the hell is that? Come on, man. This ain't rocket scientists. This ain't rocket science. This ain't rocket science. What is that? That's why we can't go there.
OG community, what is that? Look like a flying saucer to me. Is this more evidence of extraterrestrial life? I mean, you would think if you was in Antarctica, you could hide. Ain't many people in Antarctica. That's amazing. And if you look right up in the corner, it look like it's two people up there. Looking down at it, I would love to be able to witness something like that. OG community, one of these days I'm gonna take this show on the road and we will go and visit some of these sites, and I'm gonna live stream these sites.
You know this is Antarctica. You know they're out there exploring. This is Mount Erebus. This is, if it's not Mount Erebus, this is damn close to it. And I'm really starting to think the smoke is coming out of here. Maybe that's why the gold shoots out. However, man, if that don't look like, well, you be the judge. So, like I said, I was looking for a certain piece of information and I stumbled upon this. So I felt like it would be a good video to put out, give you guys some information and just let you see some of the secrets that they hide from us in Antarctica. Not just with the gold coming out of the volcano, but what the hell is that? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what kind of videos you want me to do next. What kind of topics you guys are interested in. I'm a melting pot for information, so I'm interested in all types of things. I go from one spectrum to the other, and I didn't even start out to do this. But man, when I got to that last picture, it's like, holy moly. Yikes. See y'all at the next video.
Okay. Deviants, Celestials, Eternals. Check this out. So, who was the Celestials in the movie? The Celestials were the ones who created the fucking Eternals. Okay? Stay with me. Keyword, created. Keyword, created. The Celestials were the ones that created the Eternals. Now, who was the Eternals? The Eternals was a group of beings that were sent to guard the planet. All right? They really wasn't even sent to guard the planet, to be real with you. The Eternals was sent to keep the deviants from attacking them, because the way they say it went, and I'm going to show it to you on the screen. The way they said it went in the movie was the Celestials were first. All right? They creating all these different planets. The Celestials creating all these different planets. On this certain planet, they got it's Earth. All right, so they go to create intelligent life. They went to create intelligent life on Earth. When the Celestials went to create and program the planet, they were planet programmers. So the Celestials' job was to program planets. They even told you in the movie. They say the Celestials, what they was doing was this. All right, the human beings was to give off a life force. This the movie. This the story of Eternals. Y'all listen to this story. The human beings give off life force. Okay, the Celestials program seeds into these planets. They program the planet in general, right? But the seeds they program into these planets are other Celestials. When they plant these seeds in these planets, the Celestials, when they plant these seeds in these planets, these seeds eventually grow, but it needs to feed off what? The life force and power of the humans. Okay? Now, once it feeds off this life force enough, it builds up enough energy, and then the Celestial is born out of the seed that was planted. But once the Celestial is born, what happens? The entire world or planet that the Celestial was seeded in gets destroyed, because that Celestial energy too what? It's too strong. It's too big. Okay? Okay, stay with me now. This is the story, right? Now, the deviants started to eat the humans and feed off this intelligent life source. So when the deviants start feeding off the intelligent life life forms, which were the humans, the Celestials then sent the Eternals. The Eternals' job was to protect the human beings from getting killed by the deviants. Just long enough for the celestial seed that was planted to feed off the energy of the humans. Because if the deviants eat the humans, then that celestial can never be born. Okay? If the deviants eat the human beings, that celestial can never be born. Okay? So, the Eternals were created and sent to defeat the deviants. So that they're not eating the humans. So that now it's all these human beings, and all these human beings give life and energy through what? Through the planet, down into that seed that's buried deep into the planet. Now, what was the name of the seed that was buried on Earth in Eternals? Tiamat. Ain't that about a bitch? The name of the seed, okay? And if you've been in here, I've been telling y'all what's the original name of this planet. Planet Kai and what? Tiamat.
Hey, what's up, y'all? We back with another one today, and we'll be talking about the goddess Tiamat. Tiamat is the ancient mother dragon. She predates the Anunnaki and the Egyptians. This was the first god or goddess we ever worshipped on Earth. Tiamat is the all, and the all is within us. She existed when the sky didn't have a name and the earth wasn't formed. It was just the waters. The water was the first element that ever existed on the planet. Tiamat is Anu's great-grandmother. Before we was walking on land, we was in the water, and we had our own kingdom set up. We worshiped the Great Mother. And the Great Mother, she had a lot of baby dragons underwater as well. If you guys realize it, Earth is called Mother Nature and not Father Nature. That's because the female gene was here first. This happened through parthenogenesis. They were so fertile that they didn't need a male to reproduce. And then the semen would then evolve. Even when a female is pregnant, you are in the waters before you walk on land. You was a semen. There was dragons and mermaids in the water. And then one day, we had visitors from outside of this galaxy. It was the Anunnaki, or the ones who came down to Earth. They landed their ship right over our water, hovering over us. They would then come down beneath the waters and see that we had a whole kingdom set up, and we was worshiping the Great Mother. They tried to put us under this new religion and make us pay homage to them and praise them. The Anunnaki and the dragons would then go to war with each other. The Anunnaki had slayed most of the dragons, but Tiamat stepped up and she said, "Enough is enough. Who wants to fight me?" She was the biggest and the baddest, and all the Anunnaki was scared of her. And then Marduk, which is Enki's son, he stepped up and said, "I'll fight the dragon." So all the Anunnaki, they praised him. Anu would then give Marduk weapons to defeat the dragon. And then Anu would then send Marduk on his destiny to go slay the dragon. Marduk went looking for Tiamat. Marduk would then find her, throwing a net around her, trapping her. Tiamat would then open up her mouth, getting ready to kill Marduk. But Marduk released the wind, and this wind closed her mouth shut, and then he jumped on top of her and slayed her. Marduk would then cut her belly open, piercing her heart. Her kids were scattered, and her body was used to form this new earth. A lot of people forgot about Tiamat because all her temples was underwater, and there's not that much history on her, but this is her sigil. Even in your Bible teachings, the angel Michael slayed the dragon. Yes, dragons are documented in the Bible. Now, a lot of people would say Tiamat was crazy, but she was just protecting her land and her baby dragons. Now, even though some of us think the reptiles are evil, we have reptile DNA not even knowing it. This whole story is pretty much a mystery. You have to have the keys of knowledge. We all start life as a snake, and we must ascend up through the ladder.
Community, do we agree with him? That we all start life as a snake, and we have to ascend? We all have reptile blood. don't know. He's getting a little far out there now. But who knows? Let's do our research and find out. If anybody in the community agrees with him or have a little bit more information on Tiamat, speak up. Let us know. The OG community is ears wide open, and we're ready for the information.
Manifesting our Kundalini energy. When you build up enough energy, you will get your angel wings and become a dragon again. They always made the dragon seem evil though, even on your medical staff. This is teachings from a Draco starseed. A lot of these people say they Pleiadians and Lyrans and Syrians and all these different starseeds, but most of y'all are Draco starseeds, not even knowing it. We have to go back before the Egyptian mysteries, before the Anunnaki, before Greece. We always had beautiful civilizations, and I just want you guys to use this video for enlightenment. Peace.
Why did Godzilla kill Tiamat? On this day, after Godzilla sensed a threat coming from the center of the Earth, he traveled to a nuclear power plant and absorbed a large amount of nuclear radiation, increasing his energy. Then he flew to the North Pole and crashed the cabin of the giant deep-sea titan, Tiamat. After finishing off Tiamat, Godzilla breaks into her lair and sucks up all the energy, transforming into a glittery pink form. In this upgraded mode, Godzilla has 20 times more energy reserves, denser bones, and an overall increase in strength and agility. Godzilla is not just a monster. He is also the guardian of the Earth and is responsible for maintaining the ecological balance. So when Godzilla took out Tiamat, some fans were up in arms, wondering why Godzilla would take out a titan who had...
So with that being said, would Godzilla be considered eternal? Think about it. He's here to hold ecological balance.
Hadn't done anything earth-shattering. The reason is because Tiamat was part of the destroyer camp of the Titans. During the battle with King Ghidorah, Godzilla became the leader, and the other Titans bowed down to him. However, Tiamat was not to be deterred. She continued to rule the depths of the ocean, and even once fought Godzilla. Humans nuked Godzilla's home in order to help him against Ghidorah and provide him with energy. After the battle, Godzilla set out to find a new lair, only to find that Tiamat had already taken over its lair. She took Godzilla by surprise and dragged him into the ocean, where she used her sharp scales to try to kill Godzilla and even sprayed some nasty yellow poison. After being temporarily blinded, he switches to heat vision, spots Tiamat in action, and manages to find an escape route. The battle continues all the way to the surface, where Tiamat doesn't stand a chance on land. Godzilla shows his superiority by stomping on her head, forcing her to submit. Seeing her surrender, Godzilla spares her life, which proves the deep hatred between them.
Cersei.
Arisham. Ajax was killed by a deviant. We think it absorbed her power. And something unusual is happening to Earth.
It is a side effect of the emergence.
The emergence?
It is time for you to learn the true purpose of your mission. You were sent to Earth to bring forth the celestial Tiamat. Every billion years, new celestials must be born. I plant celestial seeds into host planets across the universe. The planet Earth was chosen to host the celestial Tiamat.
The Celestials are an ancient alien race of immensely powerful beings, and one of those Celestials is Tiamat, who also goes by the name of the Dreaming Celestial. But who is he? Well, Tiamat was a part of a group of other Celestials called the Second Host, whose main protocol was to go to Earth and cultivate it. And when they did, they actually betrayed Tiamat and imprisoned him there. After many years of trying to break free from his imprisonment, he finally did, but when he did, something changed about him. Instead of executing the original protocol of the Second Host, he decided to stand by and judge humanity for himself, which actually led to him caring for life on Earth. And because he started to care about life on Earth, he started to realize that he had emotions of his own and free will. And because of this, he went to the Fulcrum, who is basically the guy who all Celestials answer to, and pleaded him to spare Earth. And here the Fulcrum revealed that because Tiamat rose above his commands and developed free will of his own, that he became just as powerful as him, making Tiamat one of the most powerful beings in Marvel.
All right, so I just wanted to document the continuing microwave pulses that we are getting hit with every day. And I'm noticing they are ramping up. On the 16th, they started at 9:11 at night until 9:11 in the morning. You see the pulse going from the east to the west coast. All right, boom, you see that? Those are NexRad stations. Each of those towers are 750 kilowatts, pumping out between 2.7 to 2.9 gigahertz in the microwave range. This is roughly the same frequency as your microwave oven, and it has the same cause and effect relationship. This was 12 hours long that they held this pulse while we slept. And look at all the other anomalies that are happening here on the screen. Look at what's going on in Texas. All right, you see that big blast? Looks like a giant laser, doesn't it? Boom, see that? And then it gets obscured by the towers. Now they can add the Doppler towers with this. NexRad has like 159, Doppler has 160. Now you can consider the HARP stations. There's 33 of those, but they don't show up on this satellite. This covers the microwave range. This is a NexRad feed. All right. Now here's where it gets worse. On the 17th, the next day, here you go. Starts at 8:11 and goes until 9:11 in the morning. So they increased it another hour each day. So this is 13 hours we're getting hit with these frequencies. All right. You go to the 18th. They start at 7:11 at night, going till 9:11 in the morning, increasing it to 14 hours. If you feel like hell, this is a really good reason. Look at this, man. This is insane. All across the country. Look at these. Watch these towers and these stations. This is not weather. This is not rain. The light, look, oh, would you see that huge burst coming out of Nevada? Hang on, we're gonna stop it there. Hang on. Boom. Did you see that? Let's back it up here. Stop it and back it up. What the hell's going on in Nevada, folks? Do you see this? This is insane. All right, now when you see the...
It looks like they testing on us with frequency waves, just to see how it affects everybody. What do you guys think? Tell me what you think, OG community.
Subside, all right? You see that? What is left? We're still picking up microwave radiation. These are your fifth generation network stations that are all lighting up together. So you see how much radiation that is on its own. All right. Now we'll kick in. See the pulses from the stations? All right. You see that? How it's radiating from the central points? Those are towers. Those are stations. This is not a natural anomaly. And regardless of what excuse they give us for doing this, the cause and effect relationship of being radiated with this frequency causes serious damage. This scientific study here, PMC 7309322, if you want to look it up yourself, on the NCBI Governmental Scientific National Library of Medicine and Center for Biotechnological Information. Here you go. Could microwave irradiation cause misfolding of peptides? The answer is yes. All right. Microwaves have been experimentally shown to affect the folding dynamics of peptides and proteins. Do you understand the significance of that? Because this is the core of what causes neurodegenerative disorders such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, and Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, as well as certain cancer types. This is insane. This is the scientific proof of the cause and effect relationship of what this is doing. Okay? It causes cancer. This affects the hydrogen molecule. It breaks the van der Waals bonds, which is the weak electromagnetic field that holds the double-strand helix together on your DNA. All right? When you break your DNA, you get all kinds of problems, all kinds of failures. Cancer can be one of them.
Also, OG family, did we realize or recognize on that map that the radiation was only going on in warm states? It stayed along the East Coast, went around the bottom through Texas, came up through Cali. But if you look in the middle of the United States, in the upper part of the United States, there is no radiation. Why is that? Why are the towers in Wyoming, in Utah? Y'all tell me why. I have a theory, but I like to hear what y'all think.
Of them. Neurodegenerative disorders can be another. CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, is also called mad cow. If you do a search, you'll find there's a lot of this coming about now. Cows are innocent, okay? The other thing we need to talk about here is this creates massive electromagnetic fields. All right, if you took any of the injections or the medications that contain any magnetite nanoparticles such as hydroxychloroquine and such, you could be affected by this. This could cause what they call self-assembly, which is a fancy word of making the magnets stick together, okay? When they get into your bloodstream, they will eventually stick together because they're magnets. But this will force them together with a magnetic field. And this can be used as a clotting or stroking agent. Do you see where I'm going with this? This needs to be stopped. People need to raise their voice and the awareness and say, hey, we're not going to put up with this. There is no good that can be caused from irradiating half the country at night while they sleep. Each of these stations are 750 kilowatts. All right. Some of these fields are larger than the state themselves. Just to put this into perspective. And they're pulsing it in synchronized bursts from east to west. Now this can be used for weather modification operations as well, but I've been watching this for years and I've never seen the pulsing like this. I've seen it starting with the eclipse, and each day it's getting a little bit more. And I'm wondering how people are doing in all these areas close to these towers. How many heart attacks and strokes and other issues are happening that we're not hearing about. Anyway, I just thought I'd share this information. It would be nice if we could make it stop. Thanks.
Thank you again for joining the OG family. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Turn that notification bell on so we can get this video to 5,000 likes and 5,000 subscribers. All right, OG family, I'm back with another banger. Let's make sure that we get everybody subscribed to the channel. Let's make sure everybody is turning on that notification bell. And I'll be back with another banger. OG family.